Microsoft and Meta AI released both their open source 3D AR models, which are already available in ComfyUI. This and much more in the first 3D AR news episode with Stefan.
So NCSoft, developers of Lineage 2 and other MMORPG, silently released VARCO 3D, which is AI generator developed by their AI department called NCAI. It is already available on 3d.varco.ai. It's available for everyone to test. They give 2000 free credits, which is around 10 generation. The quality is very interesting. I would say it is close to triple, but they have a really outstanding remesh tool, which is really worth mentioning. I did extensive testing. You can take a look in the video here. Overall, good job, but there's many things to improve.
Also, the AI texturing tool Modddif is planning for some great new releases in 2026. For once, we have now finally 4K texture painting in Modddif, which means that we can paint much more accurate details onto our models and much more accurate and high resolution texture details. They also plan to release PBR textures in the beginning of 2026, and they push really hard on have features that you can, for example, edit and readjust 3D geometry later on, so that you once generate your 3D model and then afterwards you can just refine the hands or facial details and so on to really get the best result possible for you.
Next up, Hunyuan 3D, which is now Hitem3D, released a global version available by 3d.hunyuanglobal.com. They still offer 20 free generations and it works way faster since now they have global servers as well. It is pretty much the same as a Chinese version, but you don't need to do any translations or use VPN to work with it. However, such things as 3D Studio is not available here, and some additional services are also marked as coming soon in a global version. So if you're looking for 3D Studio, you still have to go on Chinese version and apply for a waitlist. But for simple 3D model generation, I really recommend using global version as it works way faster.
Next, really interesting news is that we might have soon Lattice released. And you might wonder what Lattice is. Lattice is basically the technology or the 3D AR model behind Hunyuan 3D 2.5 and 3.0. And they just released a paper a few weeks ago, and here we can see where they explain the whole process, how Lattice is working, and you can also see here the implementation and how Lattice actually performs against other 3D AR generators that we have right now. Best thing is for this one that actually, as you can see here on the GitHub page, that they already released their technical report, which is the paper I just showed you, and that they will also release the code and model. So definitely stay tuned for this. This could be a big game changer in 2026 once it's going to be open sourced hopefully, and we will definitely keep you updated on the process there.
Hitem beta testing version 2.0. This is a formerly Spark 3D, which has probably the most detailed geometry generation right now on the market. I personally recommend it, like for 3D printing and stuff. Like, it's really good, and we'll probably see it coming somewhere in the beginning in January. They promising better texture, better material understanding, and even better geometry reconstruction.
Next up, we have big releases from Meta AI that just launched a few days ago, and most of you are already familiar with it. It's about SAM3D. And great thing is that we already have them also available in ComfyUI, because as you can see, we have SAM3D objects, which takes a single image input and then constructs it as well into 3D. It's really great for furniture, for example, or tables to accurately represent that in 3D space. In addition to that, we also have SAM3D body, which reads the pose of a character or person in a video footage, and then it transforms that into a working 3D pose. Great thing is that we already have ComfyUI versions available for this. We have for once the ComfyUI SAM3D body tool, which is here also developed by Andrea Pozzetti, as you can see here, and you can simply install this via the ComfyUI manager. In addition to that, we are also having ComfyUI SAM3D objects, also by Andrea Pozzetti, so big shout out here. And as you can see, we then have the ability to generate single objects over here with the help of SAM3D. If you would like to learn more about it, I did a detailed guide already how you can set it up for ComfyUI, and I will link it right for you here. Next up, we also have Microsoft's new release Trellis 2.0. And this made a huge wave in the 3D AR space, because it's an open source model and it has amazing geometric details. If you would like to read more about it, we will also link you this page here down below. But basically, it's now also available for ComfyUI that you can run it on your own PC. And we have two ComfyUI wrappers here that we can use for this. We for once have the ComfyUI wrapper by Visual Bruno. I also made here a detailed video about it, how to set it up with the whole installation guide and so on. So definitely also make sure to check this out on my channel. But basically you will be able to create detailed textures from it basically by just running it locally and you can generate unlimited 3D models with it. Besides that, we also have another ComfyUI Trellis 2 wrapper, which is also made by Andrea Pozzetti again. And basically this one is using a bit of different nodes, but the results also look very great. And this one you can also directly install via the ComfyUI manager. And also let us know which method works best for you and if you have tried Trellis 2.0 yourself already.
There is announced of very promising AI tool for retopology with manual control. It's not out yet, but developers already collecting emails for early access, so you can sign up and be one of the first to try it. As for me, it looks very promising. It might be a really game-changing tool for 3D artists, as retopology still remains the most annoying part.
Alright, next up we have to talk about Ubisoft's new release ComfyUI Choord. And this is the big first release from Ubisoft in the 3D space, and they released a tool with which we can generate really good tile textures for our 3D environments, for example. And this is really straightforward because the installation is very easy. You can just simply install it also through the ComfyUI manager, but what it actually does is giving us really nice base colors, normal maps, roughness and metalness maps. And they will be tiled for you, and as you can see we have text to material, but we also have image to material. So there's a lot of stuff that you can try out. It's not working that great for texturing characters unfortunately because it's mainly trained on tile textures, but if you plan to, for example, texture a 3D environment or for example a ground, this is a really great tool to generate really fast tile textures for you.
November this year, Top3D AI released, which is free tool to compare 3D AI generators, including compare specific models, including the most recent ones such as VARCO or Trellis, and SAM3D. Check the results by yourself or check how they perform on Elo leaderboard.
We also have ComfyUI UniRig, and this one is also really huge because it allows us to run UniRig through ComfyUI, which is really amazing because you can now generate your own 3D character in ComfyUI completely locally, and then you can directly pose him by attaching a rig to him and then pose him into ComfyUI. Because as you can see, we then have handles directly in our UniRig preview rig mesh viewer, and here we can then pose our character and then directly export him for 3D printing, for example, or to take him then into Blender to further refine it. And this one is also directly available on GitHub, again from Pozzetti Andrea, and I will also link you this down below for you to download.
A very interesting paper released, MoCA mixture of components attention, which shows next level part generation, or as they call it, compositional 3D assets generation. So far quality looks very impressive, but it's not released yet, and according to their GitHub, they will release code and model somewhere soon, so we're patiently waiting to test it out and maybe build up some workflow in ComfyUI.
Last news we definitely still have to mention and tell you guys about is FaithC, and this is also very exciting because this 3D AI model might be also released very soon. It's called Faithful Contouring, and it's giving us really great details in the base shape that we can then use for further refining and texturing. And you might remember still Spark 3D, which was released middle of the year, and Hitem3D, for example, is based on this model and was created from it basically. And as you can see, the Faithful Contour is definitely keeping up with the detail level that we have on Spark 3D and even goes further with their 2K mode. So definitely something to keep in mind that this might be released also soon, and we are eagerly waiting for their final release because this could also become a really great model to, for example, run locally in ComfyUI.
And lastly, this year we got TostUI from a developer named Kamendoro, which is an amazing alternative to ComfyUI for those who don't want to mess up with difficult setup. It basically gives you very simple UI connecting some top open source image model, 3D model and video model, so you can play around it on your GPU, and installation is super easy with Docker. I tested it myself. It takes 1 minute to install it, download the models, and run. Right now you can find Trellis here, SeedVR2, Van 2.2, latest and the best video generator, Qwen Image Edit, Z Image Turbo, and I bet more is coming. Really nice tool.
So this was it for the 2026 news. We really hope you have enjoyed this new format where we just present you the latest 3DI news and what might come up in 2026. There are definitely exciting times ahead, and let us know what you think of it and if you have any feedback, and actually see you on the next one.
Like and subscribe, and see you in the next episode.